When you encounter your twin flame, the experience typically transcends ordinary attraction. There's an inexplicable knowing, a sense of familiarity that defies logical explanation. The connection operates on multiple dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, creating a bond that feels both ancient and brand new. Given the profound nature of this connection, it's natural to wonder, can this extraordinary spiritual bond translate into the more conventional structure of marriage? Is it possible, or even advisable, to channel this cosmic connection into the earthly institution of matrimony? The question touches on fundamental aspects of the twin flame journey: purpose, timing, healing, and the very nature of divine union itself. As we delve deeper into this question, we'll examine various perspectives on twin flame marriage, acknowledging that there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Your unique journey with your twin flame will ultimately reveal what form your connection is meant to take, whether that includes marriage or manifests in ways that transcend conventional relationship structures entirely. You've probably heard the term twin flame thrown around in spiritual circles, maybe even rolled your eyes at it once or twice. I get it. In a world of fleeting Tinder matches and relationship podcasts, the concept of meeting your literal other half sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel. But what if, just what if, there's something profound hiding beneath all that mystical jargon? When you encounter your twin flame, it's like looking into a mirror that reflects not just your physical appearance, but your deepest essence. It's that moment when you meet someone and inexplicably feel like you've known them forever. That strange sensation of, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you without even knowing it. It's disorienting, exhilarating, and often terrifying all at once. Imagine you've spent your whole life speaking a language only you understand. Then suddenly, you meet someone who's fluent in it too. That's what connecting with your twin flame feels like. A recognition so profound, it defies logical explanation. As one twin flame experiencer described it, it's like finding the missing piece you never knew was missing until you found it. Now, let's talk about marriage in this context. And no, I don't just mean the let's sign some papers and throw a party kind of marriage. I'm talking about something deeper, what some traditions call the alchemical marriage of twin flames. This isn't your grandmother's idea of matrimony. The twin flame alchemical marriage occurs when the divine masculine and divine feminine energies find consistent balance to create a harmonic union of two soul energies. It happens at higher stages of spiritual maturity and requires a shared acknowledgement of acceptance, surrender, and transcendence of earthly motives. Pretty heavy stuff, right? But here's where it gets interesting. This ultimate union typically only manifests after both individuals have completed significant inner work. And let me tell you, that inner work isn't just a weekend meditation retreat or reading a self-help book. It's the grueling, sometimes years-long process of facing your shadows, healing your wounds, and becoming whole within yourself. You know how they say you can't truly love someone else until you love yourself? Well, with twin flames, that cliche becomes an absolute requirement. Self-love isn't just important, it's the foundation everything else builds upon. When you love and accept yourself fully, you're better equipped to handle the intensity of a twin flame relationship. Without this foundation, the mirror your twin flame holds up becomes too painful to look into. Let me share something personal. Years ago, I thought I'd met my twin flame. The connection was electric, the synchronicities undeniable. We finished each other's sentences, dreamed the same dreams, and felt physically ill when separated. Classic twin flame stuff, right? But we were also catastrophically triggering for each other. Every insecurity, every childhood wound, every fear came bubbling to the surface. Instead of doing the work to heal those aspects of ourselves, we expected that someone else will fix them. That's the thing about twin flame relationships that the Instagram spirituality posts don't tell you. The path to that ultimate union is paved with challenges that would make Hercules sweat. The twin flame journey typically involves stages of intense connection, separation, and reunion. That separation phase isn't just a minor speed bump. It's often a necessary crucible for transformation. And here's where I'll let you in on a little secret that might sound contradictory. The ultimate purpose of meeting your twin flame isn't necessarily to end up in a romantic relationship with them. I know, shocking, right? But hear me out. The true purpose of the twin flame connection is spiritual growth and evolution. Sometimes that growth happens best when you're together. Other times it requires separation. The twin flame relationship serves as a catalyst for your highest evolution, whether that means walking through life hand in hand or learning the lessons you need while apart. But when twin flames do achieve that ultimate union, when both have done their inner work and come together in conscious partnership, something truly magical happens. These unions can manifest as deeply harmonious partnerships, characterized by unconditional love, telepathic communication, and accelerated spiritual growth. There's a sense of merging with your counterpart, a profound interweaving of consciousness, energies, and even DNA light codes. But perhaps the most beautiful aspect of twin flame marriage is that it transcends the individual. These unions often serve a greater mission beyond the couple themselves. They radiate their combined energy to benefit others and contribute to collective consciousness evolution. So, are you destined to marry your twin flame? Maybe, maybe not. The journey isn't about the destination. It's about who you become along the way. And if you do reach that sacred union, remember that it's not just about your happiness, though there's plenty of that. It's about how your connection can serve the world. And isn't that the most profound form of love? Not just loving each other, but loving the world through each other. Now, that's a marriage worth striving for. Have you ever had that feeling of meeting someone who feels like home, only to realize they showed up at the absolute worst possible moment in your life? That's the cosmic joke of twin flame timing. It's almost never convenient. And let me tell you, the universe has quite the sense of humor when it comes to orchestrating these meetings. Imagine this. You're finally getting your life together. Maybe you've built a stable career, perhaps you're married with kids, or you've just reached a place where you feel somewhat in control of your existence. Then bam, your twin flame walks into your life like a hurricane, turning everything upside down and making you question every life choice you've ever made. It's like finally organizing your closet perfectly, only to have someone come along and dump everything onto the floor. Start again, they say with a smile, but this time, do it authentically. The timing issue with twin flames is so common, it's practically a cliche in spiritual circles. As one twin flame experiencer put it, most twin flames I've talked to only meet or reunite when they're nearly 40 years old or older. Think about that for a second. By 40, you've likely built an entire life: mortgage, career, possibly marriage, and children. You've invested decades in becoming who you are. And then this person shows up and suddenly you're questioning everything, like a teenager having an existential crisis. It's like planting a garden for 20 years, nurturing every plant, arranging everything just so. And then someone comes along and tells you that actually you were meant to be building a lighthouse instead. Well, thanks for the heads up. Could have mentioned that before I planted all these roses. The truth is, twin flame connections rarely arrive when both people are emotionally, spiritually, and practically ready to embrace them. One of you might be married, one might be healing from trauma, one might be focused on career goals or raising children. One might be living on the other side of the world, or one might simply not be spiritually awakened enough to recognize the connection for what it is. You know what it reminds me of? Those time travel movies where characters keep missing each other by minutes. He arrives at the train station just as her train pulls away. She goes to the cafe where they were supposed to meet, but he had to leave moments before. Except with twin flames, it's not about physical timing, but spiritual readiness. You're both circling the same destination, but arriving at different intervals. To be honest, I sometimes wonder if this timing issue is actually by divine design. What if the universe deliberately arranges these inconvenient meetings precisely because they force us to make difficult choices? What if the whole point is the growth that comes from navigating the complexity? That's the paradox. The timing feels wrong precisely because it's meant to challenge you. It's meant to make you question everything. It's meant to wake you up. And you know what? Sometimes the timing issue isn't just about external circumstances like marriage or distance. Sometimes it's about internal readiness. As one twin eloquently explained, true twin flames are incapable of staying together when they are in their karmic energies. This means that until you've done your inner work, healing your wounds, facing your shadows, learning your lessons, you simply won't be able to sustain the connection, no matter how much you might want to. Think of it like trying to run a marathon without training. You might make it a few miles on sheer determination, but eventually your lack of preparation will catch up with you. The twin flame connection requires spiritual and emotional stamina that many of us simply haven't developed when we first encounter our twin. This is why the infamous runner-chaser dynamic emerges in so many twin flame relationships. One partner, often the more spiritually awakened one, recognizes the connection and embraces it, while the other becomes overwhelmed by its intensity and runs for the hills. It's not that the runner doesn't feel the connection. They often feel it too intensely. It's that they don't have the tools to handle it yet. The runner experiences soul shock. For the chaser, this is a highly emotional time. Anger and confusion reign as you see your twin flame burn your shared destiny and spiritual journey, seemingly without a thought your way. It's like one person is ready for the final level of a video game while the other is still figuring out the controls. But here's where it gets really interesting. This timing mismatch, this readiness gap, serves a crucial purpose in the twin flame journey. It creates the necessary tension for growth. It forces both twins to develop independently before they can come together in a healthy way. And let's be real, this process can take years, even decades. There's no guarantee of when, or even if, the timing will ever align in this lifetime. That's the brutal truth that many twin flame chasers don't want to hear. Sometimes the lesson isn't about coming together, but about learning to love unconditionally without attachment to outcome. Sometimes the gift is in the journey itself, not the destination. That's the thing about timing. Sometimes it never aligns in the way you hope. And that's okay. Because ultimately, the twin flame journey isn't about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you're meant to be. So what do you do if you find yourself caught in this timing conundrum? If you're the one who's ready while your twin isn't, or if external circumstances make union seem impossible. First, focus on your own healing and growth. The more you evolve spiritually, the more you raise your vibration, the more you create the energetic conditions for potential union down the road. Second, release attachment to outcome. This doesn't mean giving up hope, but rather surrendering to divine timing. Trust that whatever is meant to happen will happen when it's supposed to. Fighting against the current only creates more suffering. Third, recognize that separation is part of the journey, not a detour from it. Sometimes a separation occurs because one or both partners need time apart to focus on their individual growth and healing before they can come together in a more harmonious union. And finally, consider that the purpose of meeting your twin flame might not be romantic union at all. It might be about catalyzing each other's spiritual awakening, supporting each other's growth from a distance, or serving a collective mission that transcends your personal relationship. Remember, the twin flame connection exists on multiple dimensions. Even when physical union isn't possible, the energetic connection remains. You're always connected at the soul level, regardless of 3D circumstances. So if you're currently caught in the painful space of wrong timing with your twin flame, take heart. This challenge isn't a cosmic error or a cruel joke. It's a sacred invitation to grow, to heal, to become more fully yourself. And in that becoming, you create the very conditions that might someday allow for union, whether in this lifetime or beyond. And hey, if nothing else, at least you can take comfort in knowing you're not alone in this timing struggle. Practically every twin flame on the planet is nodding their head right now, thinking, yep, been there, still doing that. We're all just spiritual beings having a very human experience of divine timing that rarely aligns with our human preferences. And there's something beautifully humbling about that, don't you think? So you've met your twin flame, felt that electric soul recognition, maybe even navigated the tumultuous runner-chaser dynamic, and now you're wondering, do we need to put a ring on it? Let me ask you something first. Why are we so obsessed with squeezing transcendent cosmic connections into the same box as regular relationships? It's like trying to contain the ocean in a teacup. Something's gonna spill over. Here's the thing about twin flame connections that nobody tells you on those aesthetic spiritual Instagram accounts. They often refuse to conform to our human expectations of what relationships should look like. And honestly, that's kind of the whole point. Think about it this way. You're dealing with a connection that supposedly transcends time, space, and multiple lifetimes. Your souls allegedly split from the same divine source. You're experiencing a love that's meant to catalyze spiritual awakening and potentially serve some greater cosmic purpose. And yet, we're still asking, but will there be a wedding? It's like discovering interstellar travel and then immediately wondering if the spaceship has cup holders. I mean, sure, cup holders are nice, but maybe we're missing the bigger picture here. You see, twins discover their deepest purpose involves spiritual collaboration rather than romantic entanglement. They might live separate lives, even have different romantic partners, while maintaining their sacred soul connection through shared work, creativity, or spiritual practice. And you know what? That's beautiful too. It's just different from what we've been conditioned to expect. Let me take a little philosophical detour here. Our modern conception of romantic love and marriage is actually relatively recent in human history. For most of civilization, marriage was primarily an economic and social arrangement, not the culmination of romantic love. The idea that we should marry our one true love, that our spouse should be our everything, best friend, lover, co-parent, therapist, business partner, is a relatively modern invention. And honestly, it puts a lot of pressure on relationships. What if twin flame connections are inviting us to expand beyond this limited model? What if they're showing us that sacred partnership can take infinite forms, each uniquely suited to the souls involved and their shared purpose? Consider the concept of etheric marriage, another alternative twin flame union that transcends physical reality. Some twins report experiencing profound connection on energetic or spiritual planes, regardless of their 3D circumstances. They might be physically separated by continents or circumstances, yet experience regular dream connections, telepathic communication, or energetic merging that feels more real than their physical relationships. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like a convenient excuse for not having a real relationship. And look, I get the skepticism. We live in a material world where tangible connections often seem more valid than spiritual ones. But I've witnessed too many profound, etheric connections to dismiss them as mere fantasy or wishful thinking. I'm not saying you should settle for an imaginary relationship if what you truly desire is physical union. I'm suggesting that our understanding of relationship might be too limited to encompass the full spectrum of twin flame connections. And then there's what I call the catalytic connection, perhaps the most common alternative twin flame union. These twins come together intensely, trigger profound awakening in each other, and then separate, sometimes permanently. Their purpose wasn't lifelong partnership, but rather to catalyze each other's evolution through their brief but transformative encounter. That's the thing about twin flame connections. They're designed to serve your highest evolution, not necessarily your human desires for security, comfort, or conventional happiness. Sometimes the most loving thing your twin can do is walk away, creating the necessary space for you to grow into your full potential. To be honest, I sometimes wonder if we've collectively misunderstood the whole twin flame concept. We've taken this profound spiritual teaching about divine union and soul evolution and reduced it to a cosmic dating service. Find your perfect match. Guaranteed eternal happiness. Just endure this painful purification process first. But what if the twin flame journey isn't primarily about finding your perfect romantic partner? What if it's about transcending our limited understanding of love and relationship altogether? What if it's inviting us to expand beyond the confines of conventional relationship structures into something more fluid, more expansive, more aligned with our soul's true nature? Now, I'm not suggesting that all twin flames should resign themselves to separation or alternative unions. Many twins do eventually achieve physical union after completing their individual healing journeys. But I am suggesting that we expand our understanding of what successful twin flame connection looks like. Success isn't measured by whether you end up married, living in a cute house with a white picket fence. Success is measured by how fully the connection serves your spiritual evolution and shared purpose, whatever form that takes. And you know what? Sometimes that form looks nothing like what you initially expected or hoped for. Sometimes it's messier, more complex, more challenging than the fairy tale version. Sometimes it requires releasing your attachment to outcome and surrendering to divine timing and purpose. Sometimes it means loving each other enough to let go of how you thought things should be. As the poet Rumi wrote, lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. Perhaps the ultimate lesson of the twin flame journey is that true union isn't dependent on external circumstances at all. Perhaps true union is a state of consciousness you cultivate within yourself, a recognition that you are already whole, already complete, already one with your beloved at the soul level, regardless of your 3D circumstances. And maybe when you fully embody that truth, the external form of your connection naturally aligns with your highest good and shared purpose, whether that looks like traditional marriage or something else entirely. So if you're currently struggling with the form your twin flame connection is taking, I invite you to ask yourself, what if this is exactly how it's meant to be right now? What if the current form is perfectly designed to facilitate your growth and serve your shared purpose? What if you could release your attachment to how you think it should look and instead embrace what is? Because ultimately, the twin flame journey isn't about achieving some external ideal of relationship. It's about remembering who you truly are and why you came here. It's about awakening to your divine nature and purpose. It's about transcending the limitations of ego and embracing the boundless love that you are. And that journey can take infinite forms, each one perfect, each one sacred, each one uniquely suited to the souls involved and the mission they came to fulfill. So, can you marry your twin flame? Sure, if that's aligned with your highest purpose. But don't be surprised if the universe has something even more extraordinary in mind. Something that transcends your human expectations and invites you into a new paradigm of connection altogether. After all, when you're dealing with a love that supposedly transcends time and space, maybe it's time to think outside the box of conventional relationship structures. Maybe it's time to let your connection be what it's meant to be, rather than what you think it should be. And honestly, that's where the real magic happens.